Imagine you're living 25,000 years ago. The sun has already disappeared behind the mountains. The temperature is dropping fast. A small fire is the only thing standing between your family and the freezing darkness. Then you hear it, a distant howl. Another answers from somewhere beyond the trees. You know exactly what made that sound. Wolves. Not the friendly animals you know today, but powerful Ice Age hunters capable of bringing down elk, bison, even young mammoths. They hunt in coordinated packs, they're intelligent, patient, and they're watching you. For thousands of years, your ancestors didn't see wolves as companions, you saw them as competitors. Both of your species hunt the same animals, both follow migrating herds, both need enormous amounts of meat just to survive. Every deer you catch is one less meal for a wolf pack. Every successful wolf hunt means less food for your people. If any two species were destined to remain enemies, it was you and them. And yet, somehow, those glowing eyes in the darkness became the eyes looking up at you from the foot of your bed. So, how did the world's most feared predator become your best friend? The answer is far stranger than you realize. For a long time, you might think humans deliberately captured wolf pups and slowly transformed them through selective breeding. It sounds reasonable. Your descendants will breed countless animals for thousands of years. But the truth is, the story started very differently. Instead of you choosing the wolves chose you. Picture your Ice Age campsite after a successful hunt. Your tribe has taken the best cuts of meat. Around the edge of your camp lie discarded bones, scraps of fat, pieces of skin, and marrow that wasn't worth your effort to extract. For a hungry wolf, that's an easy meal. Most wolves will never come close to you. You are dangerous. Your spears, your fire, and your groups of coordinated hunters make your camps extremely risky places. But every pack is different. Some wolves are naturally less fearful than others. The boldest individuals cautiously approach the outskirts of your camp, staying just far enough away to escape if you strike. They find food without having to chase exhausted prey across frozen landscapes. That gives them an advantage. They spend less energy hunting. They survive the harsh winters more easily. And because they survive, they have more pups. Those pups inherit many of the same behavioral traits. Generation after generation, nature quietly rewards the wolves that can tolerate living near you. No one is trying to create dogs. Evolution is doing the work on its own. Scientists call this the self domestication hypothesis, the extraordinary reality that the first step toward your modern pet wasn't made by humans at all. It was made by wolves searching for an easier way to survive. Over many generations, these camp following wolves slowly change. Individuals that are less aggressive have better chances of remaining near you. Those with shorter flight distances waste less energy running away. Eventually, some animals become calm enough to exist alongside you instead of constantly avoiding you. This process isn't quick. It unfolds over hundreds, perhaps even thousands, of your years. At first, your tribe barely notices the change. The wolves aren't your pets. They aren't your companions. They are simply another part of the landscape. But something remarkable is happening. Without realizing it, two intelligent predator species are beginning one of the most important partnerships in Earth's history. And just when you think you understand how it happened, the genetic code completely changes the story. If you could look inside the ancient DNA locked within these ancient bones and teeth, you would discover something completely unexpected. The modern dogs sleeping in homes today are not descended from the gray wolves you see in today's forests. Instead, dogs and today's gray wolves share a common ancestor, an ancient Ice Age wolf population that no longer exists. In other words, the wolves that first began this journey alongside you vanished thousands of years ago. It's like trying to understand the first horse by studying zebras. They're related, but they're not the same animal. This changes everything you assume about your history. Your ancestors didn't tame the wolves of the modern wild. You formed a relationship with a separate ancient population that disappeared long ago. But genetics raises another mystery. Where did you first do this? Some clues point toward your tribes in Europe. Other paths suggest Siberia. It may have even happened in multiple places at once, with different early dog populations later mixing together across the continents. Not every mystery of your past has been solved, but archaeology gives you another piece of the puzzle. Imagine walking near what will one day be Bonn, Germany, 14,000 years ago. A burial is held. Inside are the remains of a man, a woman, and an early dog. This animal wasn't food. It wasn't discarded, it was buried with your people. If you look closely at its bones, you see something extraordinary. This young dog had suffered from canine distemper, a viral disease that left it too weak to hunt or even eat properly. Without your help, it almost certainly would have died. Yet it survived for weeks, perhaps even months. That could only have happened because you fed it, you protected it, you cared for it while it was sick. This wasn't just cooperation anymore, this was compassion. By 14,000 years ago, you weren't simply living beside dogs, you were grieving them. Somewhere along the line, your relationship became deeply emotional. But dogs offered you far more than companionship. Imagine hunting across an open ice age plain. Your human vision is excellent, but your sense of smell is poor compared to a wolf. A dog can detect prey long before you notice it. They can track an injured animal through dense forests, hear predators approaching while your camp sleeps, and warn you before danger arrives. Together, you and early dogs become something neither species could ever be alone. You supply the intelligence, tools, and strategy. They supply extraordinary senses refined by millions of years of evolution. It is a partnership unlike anything else in nature. Some even argue that dogs are the reason you successfully expanded into new, hostile environments by making your hunting more efficient and your camps safer. If that's true, dogs didn't just adapt to your civilization, they helped you build it. And perhaps the most remarkable part of your story is that it wasn't planned. You didn't wake up one morning and decide to invent the dog. There was no master plan, no breeding program, no understanding of genetics, just thousands of years of tiny interactions. A wolf that stays a little closer to your fire, a human who chooses not to throw a spear, another night, another shared meal, another generation, until eventually, neither species can imagine life without the other. Today, there are more than 1 billion dogs living across your world. They guide you when you cannot see. They detect diseases before your doctors can. They phase down gunfire to protect your soldiers, pull your survivors from the rubble of earthquakes, guard your homes, comfort your children, and sleep beside you. Every wag of a tail, every loyal gaze, and every head resting on your lap carries the ancient genetic legacy of that impossible frozen night. The exact canyon where it happened may never be known. The name of your ancestor who lowered their weapon will never be carved into stone. The first wolf to accept a scrap of meat has been lost to tens of thousands of winters. But you don't need to look at archaeology to see them. You don't need to read ancient DNA. The next time you look into the eyes of a dog, look past the breeding, the soft ears, and the gentle nature. Look closely, because deep within those pupils, you are looking at the survivor of the Ice Age. You are looking at a master hunter that once ruled the snow but laid down its ferocity because of you. Long before your cities, long before your farming, and long before you ever wrote a single line of human history, two apex predators met at the edge of the light. They looked at each other across the dying embers of a campfire. And instead of choosing blood, instead of choosing war, instead of choosing death, you both chose to trust. And that beautiful silent choice changed the face of the earth forever.